Welcome back, this is PartTimeGuardian. If you haven't gotten it yet, the Ruinous Effigy exotic that's come with Season Arrivals is one of the completely overpowered guns, and with it, and with some of its abilities, you can make just really incredible builds. But let's talk about that, and in fact, we will talk about that in this video. If you like the video, once you get through it, feel free to subscribe to the channel and like the video. I really appreciate that. Helps me out. And speaking of subscribers, the growth in the channel has just been incredible, and I really appreciate all the support everyone's given me, especially over the last few weeks. It's just been exponential growth, and like I said, I really appreciate it. When we get to 500 subscribers, as I mentioned earlier, we will be giving away a Jade Rabbit statue as part of a giveaway that we'll be doing. And again, that normally retails for 25 bucks on Bungie's website. It's kind of hard to find. So again, if you subscribe to the channel, you'll be one of the people who has a lucky chance to get that. So first off, let's talk about Ruinous Effigy, the new exotic, and how to get it. And first off, you get the quest from the Prismatic Recaster. Again, that's the thing that's next to Drifter in the tower. Once you do that, you complete the interference mission as part of the weekly Means to an End quest line. Again, this is the mission where you do things for Eris, and she usually reveals some pretty cool storylines with that. After that, you collect 25 calcified light fragments, and you delete 15 Sabbathu marionettes. You're probably like, what are those? We'll talk about it in a minute. You also, after that, complete Gambit or Reckoning matches. You get Void kills and Precision multi-kills. For this part, and I will talk about this really briefly, I did Reckoning, Tier 3 Reckoning. I was able to grind through this pretty quickly, but again, you can do what you like. And then once you do that, you visit the Umbral Decoder next to the Drifter, and you get your gun. So the calcified fragments are scattered across the various locations that have the pyramid ships. So these are the areas like Mars and Io and Mercury and Titan where you can find those. It's very similar to some of the stuff we've done in earlier parts of Destiny, like the Siva fragments or things like that. The one big difference that's kind of cool is when you bring up your ghosts, you can actually see them within, you can actually see a representation within your map. And what's cool about that is in some of the earlier quests, you kind of had to go and hunt down videos like this or lists to get them, which you can still do, but it makes them a lot easier to find. The marionettes are a little bit different. The marionettes, some of them show up in the contact events. They also show up in random mini events that show up on the different planets. What I found is, as I was getting the calcified light, that what I would do is I would actually see, as part of getting that, I would see some of the marionettes around. I would collect some, and that got me to a certain amount. And then the last part, I went to Titan, and if you go to the rig and basically run around the rig over time, you'll actually get this pretty quickly. And then what I found is if I got to the point where they weren't spawning as much, I would just fast travel back to the rig again, and that would kind of reset that. So that's how I got it kind of quickly. And then, of course, like I said, the rest of the quest that we talked about earlier is pretty self-explanatory. Once you complete it, you get your Ruinous Effigy, and you have one of the creative weapons in recent memory, and that's what's kind of cool. Bungie's really kind of stepped it up with some of the cool weapons recently. You know, last season they had the machine gun that basically allowed you to get a shield around you. They had Wither Horde earlier in this season, so they have some just really cool, fun weapons, and we'll talk about why Ruinous Effigy is one of the coolest weapons in the game. Ruinous Effigy is a Void Trace rifle that lets you kill enemies and then turn them into a void orb. That's just crazy. It almost like Borderlands crazy. It's crazy in practice. You can either pick up the orb for a short attack, which is kind of like, you know, just like a sword attack or something like that, or those balls that you take in different strikes that you have to kind of put in things. It's similar to that. Or large dunk, where you basically use all the energy and you can attack something that's larger. The really fun part of this orb is that you can use it to create a void field around you. And what's really cool about this is if you're getting shot from further away, you still have potential issues. But for enemies near you, it actually suppresses them, and over time, it actually kills them with void. And this is really helpful because it can allow you to stay in the fight a lot longer. The other thing besides this is it actually suppresses the stomp mechanic, which means you can go in and you can get near like an ogre or something like that. You can stop the stomp from happening, and you can actually support and help your teammates who maybe want to do direct close-up damage with like a shotgun or sword to bosses. So again, that's really helpful too. I was able just to basically stand underneath a boss until it runs out. There's a timer on it, but until it runs out, you can basically suppress them and keep them from stomping you, which is really cool. Now, of course, with this and with the wackiness of this weapon, you can use it to complete and augment some really cool builds. One specific one that I'm going to call the Devourer of Darkness. Sounds pretty ominous now. Well, it's an interesting name. I thought you guys would like it. So to start this one out, again, you're going to need the bottom tree Voidwalker, which gives you a lot of really cool perks that you might know if you're a Warlock main. I typically play Hunter. I play all three, but I was surprised. I do play Warlock from time to time. I was surprised at how powerful this is and how powerful this subclass is, especially in some endgame content. So first off, you get Feed the Void. If you consume your grenade energy, you can regenerate your health. So this is basically using the L1 to basically eat your grenade. Also with that, you get the Devourer effect. What's the Devourer effect? Well, with Devour, kills with this melee ability fully regenerates your health. For a short time afterwards, kills restore additional health. So basically, you eat your grenade, you get Devour. If you go and kill something with melee, you can regenerate your health. Again, keeps you in the fight longer. You also can get Insatiable. While the Devour effect is active, killing enemies extends its duration and recharges your grenade. So again, if you can keep killing small little adds, you can keep Devour going, which can further heal you. And then Vortex. This is the version of Nova Bomb that creates a singularity which continuously damages enemies trapped inside, and kills with Nova Bomb also grant Devour. So you could see the key to this build is, at least to these abilities on this Warlock, is getting Devour, keeping Devour, and then with Devour, actually being able to heal yourself and stay in the fight a little bit longer. Now, where does this help with some of the other things that you want to do? Well, let's again, we'll get to that in a second. Add on top of this, though, the exotic Nezarec Sin. So Nezarec Sin is a helmet exotic for the Warlock. Its main intrinsic perk is Abysmal Extractors. Void damage kills increase ability energy recharge rates. So why is this cool? Well, if you have Ruinous Effigy and you get the ball, every time you kill an enemy, that basically counts as a void kill. So, and if you have Devour up and you kill an enemy, it extends Devour. So what you can see is you can go up next to an enemy, you can suppress it so it can do hardly any damage against you. You can continuously get Devour, so even if there's things longer range doing things to you, you can still continuously heal yourself, right? You're killing them with the orb. And by the way, during this time, not wasting any more ammo, so that can be helpful too. You're suppressing your enemies, including the stomp mechanic. So again, you can go up near big things and kind of take them out over time. And then with Nezarec Sin, you can use these void kills to let you get your super quicker. So that's pretty cool. I mean, if you look at some of this video, I was able to get my super pretty quickly. Again, this is not like some of my other videos, like the other video where I talk about having your infinite super with your Hunter. That's not the goal of this, even though it does help with that. The goal of this is to be able to stay in the fight longer and to be able to take out adds constantly. I mean, basically, there were some things in some content where I was almost untouchable. So this could be really useful in like higher level Nightfalls, the Prophecy Dungeon. I mean, it'll be useful in all sorts of areas like this. And again, as this is a grenade-oriented build, because you can get your grenade quickly, you can also regenerate your grenade. There's lots of options where you can put mods, including overload grenades and things like that, Oppressive Darkness. I'm not going to talk about that in great detail. I'd love to see the variety you guys can bring to this, because, again, those things are nice and they will help out, but they're not the core of the build. There's other videos I have that I'll link out here where I do talk about grenade-oriented builds that you could add on top of this. So again, this is just a really, really cool build, again, where you can suppress your enemies, stay in the fight longer. Again, use purple balls to basically kill your enemies. I mean, what's cool about that? And I think it's something that even after this season and we lose some of the mods, it's going to be something that you're going to be able to build on and be able to do some really cool things in the future. So that's the video, guys. I really appreciate you watching, and like I said earlier, I'd really like to see your versions of the build. I did give you a base to kind of work on, but I didn't give you everything because I'd love to see, like, what mods would you put on these? I'd love to have those discussions in the community. So if you like the video, feel free to like it and subscribe to the channel. Again, I love making these build videos, and I'm trying to build a community where we kind of talk about builds and the different options that you have. I really appreciate you watching the video, and again, I'll see you Guardians in the tower.